section you will have 6 questions to answer of 5 marks each. You will have options there, and in the last section you will have 10 marks question. So obviously there will be 2 parts there, say, for each question, and you have to answer 5 questions of 10 marks. So this is kind of a question paper pattern. Now if I am talking about your 2 marks question, obviously those will be based on the basic concepts of the electrical circuit. Like say you may be asked to state what is the KCL or the KVL law, or you may be asked what do you mean by the order of a circuit, or say what is a branch, what is a node, what is a loop, what is mesh, okay, what are dependent sources. So questions related to this. Can you explain the steps for solving Thevenin's? Yes, I can explain you the steps. I will tell you the steps. Okay. So just hold on. I will just tell you the steps. So these are the basic questions, and for the 5 marks questions, mainly you have the derivations. The derivations for the step response circuits, the derivation for the maximum power point, maximum power transfer theorem condition, what is the maximum efficiency. Then you have the derivations, as I said, for the transient and steady state of the first order circuits. Derivation of the equations of the star or the resistance value of the star from your resistances of the delta, or vice versa. So these are the quite some of the questions that might come as your those 5 marks section. And other than this, you have to do the numerical. So say about 55% to 60% of the questions are from this derivations theory, and like this 40% will be only numericals. Numericals means only numericals, and that might consist numericals, that will consist numericals from all the network theorems, that is Thevenin's, maximum power transfer, Norton's, superposition, KCL, KVL, star delta, RL, RC, first order circuits, switching of circuits. So all this, that all the concepts or all the numericals, all the types of numericals which you have done, all form the part of the question paper. One question is sure to come from each of these. Okay. So any other question you have? This was the answer to Shubham's question. Next is I would just explain the steps for solving the Thevenin's and Norton's containing dependent sources Manas asked. So I will just go through them. Okay. So anybody just put down the questions if you have any in the text messages. I will just explain how to do for your dependent sources, and after that we will move on to the questions from the numericals practice. Okay. So first things first. So let's say. So is this visible? I think this is visible. Okay. So let's say I am applying Thevenin's theorem for the dependent sources. Okay. So when I am applying Thevenin's theorem for the dependent sources, so let's say there can be 2 conditions. So we have done actually 3 types of problem. One is where you have only the independent sources. Second is where you have both the dependent as well as the independent sources. And the third is where you will have only the dependent sources. Now, for your examination purpose or in your syllabus, you won't have such type of a question where you have only dependent sources. You focus on the problems involving the independent sources and the problems involving the dependent as well as the independent sources. Okay, so this is the first thing that I would suggest you. Yet I will just tell you about the things or the steps of how you do for dependent sources and independent sources. So let's take the first case. Okay, let's take the first case. The first case is where the circuit is containing both the dependent as well as the independent source. Now what we have to do, first we have to open circuit, the open circuit voltage we have to determine, and this is done as we have already done for the Thevenin's theorem by activating the sources or keeping the sources alive. Okay, now so I will just show you with an example. I think that will be helpful to you. Just a second, just hold on. I will just show you with an example. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so just let's take a sample problem for your understanding. Let's take a sample problem. Just wait, just let's take a sample problem. Okay, so okay, just a minute. So I am just stopping this sharing and I am just focusing on a problem. Okay, so that this will be helpful for you. Okay, so let's say I'm presenting to you. Let's say I'm talking about a problem, and this kind of problem is important. So just let's draw the circuit first. So let's say I am having here a current source of 10 ampere. Okay. Next, you have a resistance here. You have, say, a dependent voltage source here. Okay. And another resistance as R here. Say you have a dependent voltage source here and you have another resistance here. So let's say we are taking these two values of the resistance as same. This is say R, this is also say R. We are taking the value of the resistances as R. Let's say we are taking this and this is a dependent current source. This is equal to 2I. Okay. And your the voltage across you have to calculate. This is this is
Sir, your
say
voice is
Y.
cracking.
So this is where the load
So your
resistance
voice is lagging.
Sir, you're not clearly audible, sir.
hello, hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's say we are taking this problem. Okay. So what we have to find out? We have to find out the internal resistance and the open circuit voltage across these terminals X and Y. Okay. So first what we will do? We will remove the current source 10 ampere and apply a voltage source V0 across X and Y. So first what we will do? We will remove the current source and we will apply a voltage say V0 across X and Y. So if you remove this, so what will be the circuit look like? What will be the circuit look like? If you are removing this voltage source, that is this current source, so your circuit is looking like this. Okay, so this is resistance R, this is your dependent current source of 2I. Okay, this is the resistance and R, this is also R, this is X plus minus, this is, let's say we are taking this as V0 and this is equal to Y. So this is the open circuit voltage V0 that we have taken. Okay, and what is the term or what is the thing that we have to do when the circuit is consisting of only a dependent source? What we will do, we will take a current of 1 ampere. We will take a current of 1 ampere. You remember this? You remember this? When the circuit is consisting only of the dependent sources, then we connect a 1 ampere source or we take the current to be 1 ampere across the dependent source. So we are taking the current value to be 1 ampere. Let's say we have removed the independent voltage source. Now the circuit is consisting of only the dependent voltage source. Now when your VOC is equal to 0, we are taking that there is a 1 ampere source which is flowing, 1 ampere current which is flowing through the entire circuit. There is a 1 ampere current which is flowing through the entire circuit. So here you see we have removed the constant current source of 10 ampere. We have open circuited that and we have placed a voltage source, or say we have considered the open circuit voltage to be V0 across X and Y. V0 across X and Y. So this one. So therefore, this is the first step that for the first step for dependent sources, that is when it consists of only dependent source, when it consists of only dependent source, consider a current of 1 ampere is flowing through it. Okay, so therefore this VO and this dependent source will only generate a current of 1 ampere. So let's say a 1 ampere current is flowing through the entire circuit. Okay, so what happens next? When 1 ampere current is flowing through the circuit, you tell me what happens. We are applying KCL. We are applying KCL at this particular node. We are applying KCL at this particular node. Okay, so what was the circuit looking like? The circuit was looking like this, that here a 1 ampere current is flowing through this. So I forgot to mention that it was mentioned here that there is a current I here. So when 1 ampere current is flowing through this and here it's a I, and you have here, let's say at this node which we are pointing as 1. So KCL at node 1, KCL at node 1, what will it give? The summation of the currents entering the node will be equal to the summation of the currents leaving the node, right? So what you will get? You will get here, see, 2I plus 1 minus I is equal to 1. 2I, just look at this, at this particular node, current entering is 2I and 1 ampere. And what is the current leaving? I. So this will be equal to 0. So your I will be equal to minus 1 ampere. I will be equal to minus 1 ampere. Right? Is this okay? First part, is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we have to do? Now we will apply KVL. We will apply KVL to this entire loop. We will apply KVL to this entire loop. Okay. So you see, I considered 1 ampere is flowing through this, but I is equal to your minus 1 ampere, right? So therefore, if I is here, so here the direction of I will be this. This will be the direction of I. If this is your 1 ampere, if this is your 1 ampere flow, then this will be the direction of I. Now we are applying KVL to this entire loop. We are applying KVL to this entire loop. So if we are applying KVL to this entire loop, so just look at the circuit now. Just look at the circuit. So you are having this resistance. This is the current source. This is another resistance, and this is the voltage V0. So here it was, I was flowing in this direction. Here the I is flowing in this direction. This is R, and this is 2I. So if you just consider this entire loop, and apply KVL, so you will get here IR minus V0 minus IR will be equal to 0. Therefore, V0 will be equal to 0. Okay? V0 will be equal to 0. So what will be the R internal resistance? What will be the R internal resistance? How did you calculate? It was said R internal was equal to VO by 1 ampere, because we have taken here a 1 ampere source. So R internal was this. So this is 0 by 1, that is equals to 0 ohm. So the internal Thevenin's equivalent internal resistance is coming out to be 0. Okay? Is this okay? See if this is okay or not. Is this okay? This is how you solve for the dependent sources. Now next is, you have to also find the Thevenin's equivalent voltage. Okay, so how do you calculate the Thevenin's equivalent voltage? So you have to calculate the open circuit voltage, that is the Thevenin's equivalent voltage, that is the voltage across. If you have considered the first circuit, this circuit itself. If you consider this circuit itself, so the voltage across these two terminals, will be same as this VOC. So if we are just calculating from the first circuit, let's say we are calculating or we are applying KCL at this node by considering the independent source. So first we considered the dependent source and calculated the internal resistance. Now we have considered the independent source, and now we are calculating what is the open circuit voltage. So let's say we are taking KCL at this particular node. So if we are taking KCL at this particular node, again you see what are the currents entering, 10 and 2I, and what is the current leaving? Just a second. Yes, in this particular node, what is the current entering and what is the current leaving? So here you see 10 ampere will be equal to a 10 plus 2i the minus I. This will be equal to 0. So your I will come out to be minus 10 amps. Your I is coming out to be minus 10 amps.
So which node, sir?
Yes.
Which node?
See this node itself. This node itself. You have only one node here basically. This is one common node. This is one common node. So one current is leaving here. You can consider this node as well. You do not need to consider this node. You can consider this node as well. So at this particular node, you see this 2i is entering here. This I is leaving here, and this 10 ampere is entering here. So 10 and 2i are entering, I is leaving. So what will be the voltage? What will be this current I? So what will be VOC? Your VOC will be equal to minus 10 into R. So this is your VOC, and your R internal has come out to be 0. So this is a condition where you have used independent and dependent source both. So first what you will do, you will first remove the independent source, then do the calculation considering only the dependent source. Okay, so for the dependent source, you consider a voltage V0 and a current of 1 ampere. That is, let's say a 1 ampere current is generated from this voltage source. So by applying that, you find out the internal resistance. That is, you find out the current, you find out the you find out the value of the dependent source. From there you calculate the open circuit voltage of the voltage source that you are considering. Let's say this is not the open circuit voltage. Let's say we have taken this voltage as VAB or VO, anything you can say. Okay, next you calculate the current. Now VO by current will give you the internal resistance, that is the Thevenin's equivalent internal resistance. And next what you do, you then put on the independent source, and again you apply KCL and find out the voltage drop. That will be your VOC. Okay, now you have got VOC using the independent source, you have got the resistance using only the dependent source. Now you can calculate. Okay.
Sir, can you solve a more complex kind of a problem?
Complex kind of problem means which can you tell me? আরেকটু বেশি কি বলতে চাইছো বলো? Okay, okay. Let me then try out another problem. Let's see. Okay, let's say if you I do not know if you have this Obijit Sir's book. If you have this Obijit Sir's book, I do not know. So let's just try out another problem. So just let's say you have a 2 ampere source here. Okay, let's say you have a 2 ampere source here. You have a resistance in parallel here. Okay, and then you have a dependent voltage source here of say 2i. Okay, and next you have say a resistance. So just let me complete with this before I move on to the next thing. Let's say this is the resistance here, and this is let's say R1 or R2. Let's say this is R2. And it has been given to you. It has been given to you that R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 4 ohms. R1 is equal to R2 is equal to 4 ohms. So what you have to do, you have to calculate the ISC and internal resistance across these two terminals. Okay, so this is the same problem, same type of problem that we are implementing in case of a Norton's application of this type of problem. So let's say, so what are the steps? So first is you have to know the steps. The first step is, so I will just write down the steps here. Okay, I will just write down the steps here. That is, say independent and dependent source. Independent and dependent source. Okay, so the first step is considering the existence of only the independent source, calculate VOC or ISC. But this is the application. If you are using Thevenin's, it will be VOC. If you are applying, or if you are doing that is Norton, you have to calculate ISC. So this is VOC or ISC. Now next is you remove the dependent source. You remove the independent source. Okay, you remove the independent source. Remove independent source. Only for dependent source, consider a voltage VAB across the open terminals generating a current 1 ampere. Okay, next is so from the circuit calculate ISC and VAB. R internal will be equals to VAB by 1. R internal will be VAB by 1. And if you are doing it for the Norton circuit, okay, this is the dual of the this circuit. So in this case, what you will do, you will again similarly apply 1 ampere source. You will calculate VAB and you will then calculate VAB by 1. The steps are same. Just you need to apply in it accordingly. Okay. So let's say we have considered this problem. This problem is important for your exams. Already Sir has told. So this is a Norton circuit, right? This is the Norton circuit. So basically, what you have to do, you have to calculate ISC. Okay, you have to calculate ISC. So from this circuit, we are coming back to this. We are coming back to this circuit. Okay, so let's say, so you are having this circuit, you are having 2 ampere source. Okay, you are having a resistance here. Please focus on this problem. This problem is important for your, these are one of the important problems. This is the resistance. So we are considering the Norton circuit. So we will short circuit this and we are calculating this as the ISC. We are taking this as the ISC, and which is I. So the current through this is I. Correct? Okay. So next first step is what we have to do. First, what we are doing. So let's consider. Let's do KCL at this loop. Let's do KCL at node 1. We are doing KCL at node 1. So what are the currents leaving? So 2 ampere plus 2I. These two are entering. I and ISC. These two are leaving. So what is ISC? ISC is coming out to be I plus 2. Okay. ISC is coming out to be I plus 2, right? Okay. Now you apply KVL. Similarly, you apply KVL. Apply KVL to the circuit. So if you apply KVL to this circuit, then what will be the KVL of this loop? What will be the KVL of this particular loop? What will be the KVL? Please frame the equation for the KVL.
So for which loop?
Yes.
So for which loop?
How many loops are there? You tell me. There are 2 loops in the circuit, right?
Yeah.
There are basically 2 loops in the circuit, because this is, if you are taking this as a common mesh, if you are taking this as a super mesh, so this is one loop and this is another loop. So we are concerned about this ISC. This is R2, this is R1. We are concerned about this ISC. So we will just focus on this loop. And this will give us ISC into R1 minus I into R2 will be equal to 0, because this is a super mesh. So we are not considering, we are taking this entire loop. Okay, so ISC into R1 minus I into R2, this will be equal to 0. Okay, now you see R1 and R2 are given to you as equal. Look at the problem. R1 and R2 was given to you as equal. See, R1 is equal to R2. Okay, so if R1 is equal to R2, then this R1 is equal to R2, then your ISC, this becomes equal to ISC, this becomes equal to I. Okay, so therefore, what does the value of ISC become? If you put this value here, the value of ISC will become equal to infinity. Then only this equation can hold true. So the short circuit current will become equal to infinity. If R1 is equal to R2, short circuit current becomes equal to infinity. Okay, but if your R1 was equal to twice R2, if this was the case, then how would you do? ISC into 2R2 will have been equal to I into R2. So R2 gets cancelled. So your I will be equals to twice ISC. Okay, then you put this in the equation. You just put this in the equation. Then what will it become? What will be the value of ISC become? This will become ISC is equal to twice ISC plus 2 from this equation. So therefore ISC will be equals to minus 2 ampere. Just a second, HOD sir is calling. Just a second. হ্যাঁ স্যার, না না চলছে ক্লাসটা। Okay, see if this is clear or not. Okay, this is how you find out your ISC. So this question is important. Okay, this question is important, so please go through this question thoroughly. You have to calculate the ISC. This is one of the important questions for your examinations. Already Sir has marked. So this is one of the important questions. Okay. Okay, now you try to do this another problem. This is also one of the important problems. I think this also Sir has marked for you. Uh, you have to find the current. I will just show you. See, any questions from here you can ask me. This is the steps. Any questions you can ask me. So if you have the book, you can focus on problem 3.28, or I will just redraw the circuit. If you have the book, you can focus on problem 3.28. Say you have here a 10 ampere source. You have here a 10 ampere source. Okay. And say you have another resistance in parallel here of 1 ohm, right? You have say a voltage source here of minus plus 3i, and then a 6 ohm resistance, 6 ohm resistance, and here you have another resistance connected that is equal to 1.6 ohm. Another resistance connected that is equal to 1.6 ohm. These are the terminals X and Y. I is the current through this circuit. You have to calculate power loss in 1.6 ohm resistor. So how do you do this? Anybody just tell me what to do? Which is the load resistance? Which is the load resistance? First tell me.
1.6 ohm.
Yes, 1.6. So first what we will do, we will remove the 1.6 ohm resistor and we will short the terminals X and Y. We will short the terminals X and Y, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next what we do, next what we have to do. So let's say if your ISC, say if this is the circuit, okay, if this is your circuit, say if this is your circuit, let's say this is, so if this circuit has been short circuited, if this circuit is say short circuited, so will any current flow through this circuit? If this is your ISC, will any current flow through this circuit? No current will flow through this circuit because all the current will pass through the short circuit. So no current will pass through this circuit. Okay, right. So this is, let's say we are taking this node. So we are applying KCL at this node. So what will be the KCL formula? KCL at node 1. Say like we are taking this as node 1. So I and ISC, these two are leaving the node. I and ISC are leaving the node, and 10 is entering the node. So what will be the expression become? What will be the expression become?
So 10 is equal to 3 plus ISC.
10 is equal to I plus ISC. This is a 3I is the
Oh,
voltage
yes,
source.
sir. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this 10 will be equal to I plus ISC. Okay. So this is the first thing. Next, what you have to calculate? You have to calculate the internal resistance. You have to calculate the internal resistance. Now, what will be the internal resistance? You calculate what is the internal resistance. Can you calculate the internal resistance? You have to calculate the open circuit voltage. Please try this on your own, or else I will help you out. Don't worry. First try you on your own.
Sir, internal resistance 1.3.
Okay, then calculate V0. Calculate your V0. You first try, or else I will tell. Okay, see, I will just explain it to you. Okay. So first things first, that we have done already. This thing you have already done. So we have taken, say, that KCL at node 1 is equal to 10 plus ISC. Now let's say, so what is the node voltage at 1? What will be the node voltage? What is the node voltage here? Let's say we are taking the node voltage here to be, we are taking the node voltage of this volt to be, say, V. Say V. We are taking this as V. Okay. So what is your I? So what is your I coming out to be? Your I is coming out to be V by 1, that is equal to V ampere. If this is the node voltage V, then your I will be equal to V ampere. So if we just put KVL now, we are just putting to the KVL to this entire loop. We are putting KVL to this entire loop. Okay. So what will be the KVL, or what are the voltages? The voltage across 1 ohm is minus V, minus 3I. This is equal to 0. Minus V minus 3I, this is equal to 0. We have applied KVL to this loop. The voltage across this 1 ohm is I into 1, that is V volts, and this is 3I given, so this is minus V minus 3I, this is equal to 0. Minus V minus 3I, this is equal to 0. Okay.
It should be plus 3i.
This will be, now আমি যদি এই দিক থেকে ধরি, if I am taking the current direction as this, so if the current is flowing in this, আমি যদি, see, you can take this as V plus 3I also. That won't also hamper. If you take the current direction like this, as the current is flowing in this way, if you take this current direction, so this will be 3I, this will be V. So you can take this V plus 3I, you can take this minus V minus 3I, both of them will have the same sign. What I am trying to say, see, I am taking the current direction in clockwise manner, and actually current is flowing in this direction. So if the current I is flowing in this direction, the loop current will be like this. The loop current এইভাবে হয়, the voltage across this branch is V, the voltage across this is 3I, positive to negative current flowing. So this is minus V plus 3I, and I is equal to V is equal to I from this equation. So therefore minus I minus 3I is equal to 0. That is I is coming out to be 0. If I is coming out to be 0, what is ISC coming out as? ISC is coming out as 10 ampere. Clear? A part, the first part.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So ISC is coming out to be 10 ampere. Now what we are doing, now next what we have to calculate, we are removing the short circuit, we have to calculate VOC. Next we have to calculate VOC. VOC, if we calculate VOC, so the circuit is looking like this. You have the 10 ampere source, you have the resistance here, okay, you have this voltage source, you have this resistance, and you are having this open circuit voltage here. So this is 3I, this is 10 amps, this is 1, this is 6, and here this is the load resistance of 1.6 ohms, correct? Okay, so what we are doing, so this is again node 1, let's say this is node 1, this is minus 3 plus 3I, okay. So what will be the current here? What will be the current here? What will be the current here? Let's say the current through this is I1. Let's say the current through this is I1 we are considering. And here the current is say I2. Here the current is say I2. So basically what you are getting, 10 is equal to I1 plus I2. 10 is equal to I1 plus I2. Let's I1 be the current in this branch, I2 be the current in this branch. So 10 is equal to I1 plus I2. Okay. Is this okay? Now your I1 is equal to I. Your I1 is equal to I. This was already given to you. This is already given to you. This was your I. So I1 was equal to I. So you apply here the KVL. You apply here the KVL and you will get, you see, 6I2. 6I2 will be equal to I1 into 1 plus 3I1. I1 into 1 plus 3I1 will be equal to 6I2. This is the KVL equation. So therefore you are getting I2 as I1 plus 3I1 by 6. That is 4I1 by 6. That is 2 by 3I1. Okay. Now you put this value in this section. So you are getting this as 10 is equals to I1 plus 2 by 3I1. And you are getting the value of I1 to be equals to 6 ampere. I1 you are getting this to be 6 ampere. Okay. And what is your I2? I2 is equal to 4 ampere. Okay. Now this, if this is your VOC, if this is your VOC is actually 6 cross I2. So this is 6 into 4. This is you are getting as 24 volts. This you are getting as 24 volts. Okay. So what will be your internal resistance? Your internal resistance R internal will be equal to VOC by ISC. That is 24 by 10 is equal to 2.4 ohms. This is your R internal, 2.4 ohms. Okay. Now you put this. Now you formulate or you design the circuit. So your ISC is equal to IN, that is equals to 10 ampere. Okay. So your circuit becomes 10 ampere, that is IN. This is parallel to RN, that is R internal. And you connect the load resistance here. That is RL, that is 1.6 ohm. So this is your 2.4 ohm. This is your 1.6 ohm. Now you can calculate the current through IRL. So what will be IRL? How do you calculate IRL? 10 into 2.4 by 2.4 plus 1.6. So this is 10 into 2.4 by 4. this is coming out as 6 ampere. So the current across this is coming out as 6 ampere, and you have been asked to calculate the power. So power is equal to I square R, that is 6 square into 1.6, and you will get the value of the power. See, is this okay? Bhiman, this is some kind of a critical problem, I can say, because this involves a lot many steps. Is this clear? This is involving your dependent as well as the independent source, your how you implement or how you use this to calculate the internal resistance as well as the Norton's current and calculate the power. See if this is clear to you. Any doubts, anybody? Shubham, Aritrika, any doubts? Hello?
No doubt, sir.
So we will so you have a meeting from 12:30. So we will start the next class at 1:30, okay? Because you need time for your lunch. So here we have discussed problems from Thevenin's, we have discussed problem from Norton. In the next we will do superposition and maximum power transfer, one problem each in the next class we will discuss. Okay? So just give the attendance, first give the attendance. So who are present? Akash Datta,
Present, sir.
Aritrika Ganguly,